Hey there, YouTubers. Luis here from Tow Universe. Hope everybody's doing well. Uh, Sunday here, real nice day. So I figured, you know what? Let me do a video. This video, I'm going to talk about impounds. Something that I recently got into probably in the last year and a half. Back when I was in New York, I really did not do any impounds just because the paperwork process to get titles in New York was not an easy process. It was pretty costly. Um, And then when I got down here, I kind of looked into it and I said, you know what, it doesn't seem that bad. So I ended up trying the process of one of the vehicles that we have, a Chevy Equinox. And sure enough, the process is pretty straightforward here. It probably takes from start to finish about 2 to 3 months for us to get the title. So in New York, besides the title issue, it's also I just didn't want to deal with the confrontation of people and putting my drivers in a bad situation. But I said, you know what? Once I got down here, I said, let me give it a try. And sure enough, Impounds has greatly helped out with my bottom line. And to be honest with you, with the couple hundred impounds we have done in the last year and a half, I've only had one customer that came in hot and heavy into the office, and to be honest with you, she wasn't even that bad to deal with. For the most part, people down here understand that they screwed up, and they end up paying the bill and going on their ways. Uh, we are not patrolling parking lots down here. That's just something that I don't want to do, just because it increases my labor cost and we might not get anything out of it. So what we do here is we're linked up with some gas stations, HOAs, apartment complexes, etc. They pretty much call it in and we go and we impound the vehicle that's breaking whatever rule, whether it's in a no parking zone, if it's by a fire hydrant. Some of the HOAs here, you're supposed to park on one side of the road. That way, emergency vehicles can get through. But in other words, we only go out when we are called by property management. We are not patrolling lots. We're not looking for stickers or tags on the vehicle. We only go when HOA property management calls us and whatnot, or business owners. Uh, I never realized how lucrative this business can be, especially when the vehicles are not being picked up and you're getting titles for them. And then you end up selling them, or selling them off for parts. But it's very lucrative. I think in the last year and a half, just doing impounds has probably generated us maybe 100 grand, maybe more. And I'm sure there's companies out there that generate a hell of a lot less that specialize in just impounds. But anyways, I'm gonna take you around for a walk in my lot. That way you can see what some of these cars are gonna be bringing. All right, hang tight. All right, YouTubers. So here's a few vehicles that we have in impound. We've actually got paperwork processing for, I believe, these two. I think we got a few others, but like this Infinity here was just abandoned at one of the HOAs we deal with. I had a key made for it. Thing runs and drives. KBB on this is still like 4,500. So even on the low end, if I let this go for 1,500, just if I want to let it go quickly, that's good money there. This one here was another vehicle. You guys see the lizard? Little Geico lizard. How you doing, buddy? Such a beautiful color. But anyways, this one here was abandoned at a Publix, and this is a really nice truck. And I believe KBB on this, on the fair end, it's still about $10,000. And this is a Southern truck. There's really no rust to it. I think it had like 120,000 miles on it. You can see the interior looks like it's never been sat in. Very, very clean interior. But this truck here will probably pull me in about $10,000 on the low end. So, or I might keep it for myself. Who knows? Now let's walk on over here. This one here was abandoned in a Taco Bell. The guy came in and he pretty much told us it's junk it, he can't afford to get it out. And this one will probably generate me about 300 bucks at the scrap yard. We'll pull the rear wheels off because the tires look brand new, and we can sell those off, you know, for a couple $100. Now this one here is actually going to generate me quite a bit of money considering it's a 1992. This one was picked up at an apartment complex for not having a tag. Turns out the vehicle was sold and the new owner never registered it. So when I did the paperwork, it actually went to the previous owner because he still holds the title, and he was telling me how he had sold this car for $6,000, and which is mind-blowing. This is a 1992 Civic, and you know, it's all riced out. So this one's gonna, if he sold it for 6 grand, you know, I'm probably gonna shoot for 6 grand. So you know, this is another, you know, so right now we got 6 grand, 10 grand, 3 grand over there. So that's, you know, that's $19,000 worth of cars. Now we come on over here, and these cars were picked up from Gerber Collision, which is a client of mine. This one, a 2020 Kia here, which I think has under 30,000 miles, very light front end damage. This can all be repaired. This one was abandoned because he didn't have insurance. So once I put the 5 grand into this front end here, you know, I got another $20,000 to sell. Same deal with this one. Light front end damage on this Lancer. You know, that's a $3,000 car. This one here is a 2020 with only 8,000 miles. And what happened with this one was it got into a fender bender, and the customer did not have the $1,000 to come up for the deductible. And this is after Gerber Collision fixed it, and this thing's got 8,000 miles. It's a 2020. It's practically a brand new stinking car. Don't mind that one. So this is a police rotation car. This is another rotation call that was in an accident. This guy went for a ride. That's a police call. That one, he gave us permission to junk it. And then this one over here was an impound, and this guy turns out to be a freaking pain in the ass. He was living in this truck, and when my driver showed up, there was 2 dogs in the vehicle, a pit bull and a smaller dog. So we called animal control. My driver sat there for 6 hours until animal control came to get these poor dogs. And the animal control was a little bit annoyed because dispatch should have said this was an emergency. So anyways, this guy was parked on the street, and everybody, even PD, thought it was a public street, but it was actually a private street that was owned by an automotive group, a big dealership in the area. And this guy pretty much kicked and screamed, told PD we stole his vehicle, whatever. You know, he had every opportunity to come get it, and you know what, he didn't. He wanted me to release it back to him for free, tow it back to him, and whatever. It became a whole nightmare. So we're actually processing paperwork on this. Now, she's not the prettiest truck out there. This thing's kind of clapped out. You can see here he had a blowout on that steer tire, took out the whole fender. But you know, even granted in the condition, and this thing run, and if this thing doesn't run, I can still probably get 5 grand for it. You can see the interior is disgusting. It smells like ass in this fucking thing. Excuse my language, but you know, and we could even, you know, grab a few things. You know, we can take these tires off and set them aside for road service, you know. But with all that being said, I'll show you the big one we scored. So this Challenger, I had impounded it probably in the fall. Story goes, the guy owned a fish, an aquarium business, and he ended up going to jail for taking people's deposits and not delivering the product. So this vehicle was actually in a storage unit, and obviously he's in jail, so he couldn't pay the monthly fee for the storage unit. So the storage unit ends up calling me saying that this guy defaulted on his rent there, and that there's a vehicle in the garage inside the storage unit, and they can't auction the unit off with the car in it. So they were like, come take it. So there were boxes all over this thing, and I'm here thinking, you know, this is probably a V6 Challenger, whatever, still worth quite a bit of money. So as we're removing the boxes from around it, I see it's debadged. So I popped the hood, and sure enough, it's an RT. And lucky me, they left the keys in it. So all I had to do was jump start it and drive it out. And the biggest and the nicest thing about this, being it's a 2014, at the time it had only 36,000 miles on it. Very low mileage on it. And this thing is beautiful. This car is still worth a lot of money. It's about $27,000 on KBB, and it's only going to go up in value, hopefully, because they're no longer making the Challengers, and the next generation of Challengers and Chargers that are coming out are going to be electric. So this was a win for me. And you can see the interior spotless. It's a rare one because you don't really see the leather interiors in these Chargers and Challengers anymore. It's also a 6-speed. Really nice car. So every once in a while you get lucky and you get something nice like this. I love driving this car. So right now I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might sell it, I might stick it in the storage, I might make it a, I don't know, a parade vehicle. You know, we'll do a wrap on it, you know, slow down, move over wrap, and we'll see. But with that being said, just with what I've got here, I easily have probably $100,000 worth of cars, not including this one. That's just what's in my lot, and it doesn't include the stuff that we've impounded in the past, gotten paperwork for it, and it's sold. So that's just my take. You know, impounds can be lucrative. And anyways, well, that's all I got for you guys. Hope everybody stays safe out there. Slow down, move over. If anybody's got any questions, just leave it in the comments. Hit like and subscribe.